What's up? Coach Vassar, thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new, appreciate you tuning in, listening to me talk about these workouts. If you find value in them, information is in the description to support me, and I do appreciate that. Any feedback, please let me know. First of all, happy National Coaches Day, Monday, October 6th. We have an ESP style workout, and of course, because it's a specialty themed workout for a unique day, we won't see it repeat for the rest of the month. It's ESP style. We'll talk about the 2G, talk about 3G. There's coach choice stuff, but there's also member choice stuff for today's workout. So let's talk about the 2G. Looking at the key concepts for the treads, we have 3 blocks. Blocks 1 and 2, you surge either incline or speed. In block 3, let's go all out. On the rower, we have an all-out row right into a power exercise, and then on the floor, we start with strength, then endurance, and put a little fun sprinkled in with your blocks by yours truly, the coach.
You did it.
And there's my little guy.
You did it.
That is me. Yes. Hi.
Look, brushy.
That is a brushy. Can Dad do his video?
Take photo.
Yeah, we'll take a photo.
Photo.
It's my guy.
He knows them.
He's got a mullet. It's great. All right, go watch.
Come up.
Stay. All right, so let's talk about the tread side. So 3 blocks. Blocks 1 and 2 are both exact same in terms of like the timestamps and everything. You have 7.5 minutes, 90-second recovery between the blocks. And then block 3 is 5 minutes, where they see 3 all-outs. Okay, so block 1, they are doing an incline surge. So they pick their speed that they want to maintain, and then they'll have a 2.5 minute tread at a 3% incline. And then at the 2.5 minute mark, they choose how much incline they want to add for 75 seconds. Okay, so if you run in stopwatch at the 2:30 mark, they'll add incline until 3:45, and then they come back to that 3% incline, and they want to maintain their speed. Okay, at 3:45, they do that, and then another 2.5 minutes, which will put them at 6:15. You'll do another surge. How much they add to their incline is up to them, but keep in mind there is that walk recovery on the other side, so they could go aggressive if they want to, because they do get that walk. Okay. For the bikes and striders, they want to start between a base push gear, and then during the incline surges, increase gear. Once the incline drops, go back to the original gear that they were using. So what will probably be a good recommendation is if they start like 2 gears over their base, during the surge, treat it like a aggressive push. So could they go 4 or 5 gears over base for that 75 before they come back to what they were holding originally? Okay. Block 2, the endurance block. They choose their tread speed at flat road, including the power walkers, 1% or greater, of course. And then on the surge, we're increasing the speed. Power walkers also increase speed. So they'll keep the incline whatever they're at, bump up that right side. How much they increase is up to them. You know, if they hold base, maybe they take it to a push or more and they come back. If they are holding a push, maybe they only add 0.1, 0.2 and come back to what they were doing originally. For the bikes and striders, they want us to have them coach to increase RPMs. So during the 2.5 minute tread, we want them to keep those RPMs kind of on the lower end, so maybe 60 to 80, and then during the surge, go to 80 to 100. Hey, no fighting right now. Adavakadava. All right, final block for power. We have increase in time for the all-outs with an increase in walk recovery. So they start with a very aggressive 30-second all-out, 75 walk. All-outs will then go to 45, eventually a minute, but of course the walk recoveries do get longer. So the intention here is start aggressive, stay aggressive.
The brushy.
That is my brushy. It's my mic. You guys stay on though. Cool, cool. All right. Very typical power block, so nothing really much to say about there. So of course, power walkers, 10 plus on that incline, joggers, runners, 2 or more over their base speed, bike striders, keep those RPMs over 60, aim for 6 gears over base. Okay. All right, now looking at the weight floor, block 1, strength block, low rep count, 3 different movements for 4 reps each. The goal is to do all 3, take a break, and then there's a coach's choice core movement for 12 reps, and then they'll repeat. Okay. For the 2G and the 3G, you will have the benches at a incline setting of 2. But if you happen to coach a Strength 50 class this day, the Strength 50 class does require bench setting 3. So just keep that in mind. They do address that in the daily beat as well. Okay. They do mention also with the coach's notes, you want to choose a core movement that fits the space and offers a range of difficulty. So you could do like a seated knee tuck or sit up to alternate in rotation. You could also have them go into leg raises from the floor, but you'll see incline hammer curl. So they're laying back, they'll hit the hammer curl, and then hit the hammer curl, they'll stand up all the way back down, and then keeping that weight there for squats. Okay, so essentially they're going to be, from their bench, they go up to eventually in front of their bench for those total of 12 reps. And then coach's choice core. How many rounds can they get? We'll find out. And then we go to endurance, where we're going to see dumbbell upright row for 8 reps, and then alternating lateral lunge with upright row, and then eventually just the lateral lunge. So, simple compound, simple movement, but we want to try to maintain the weight all the way through. So pick a weight for that upper body, for that upright row. If the alternating lateral lunge is tough, they could do a lateral shift, and then when both legs are straight, hit that row when they're in between. And then it's a coach's choice push-up. So keep in mind, they were hitting a lot of upper back and with the upright row. So really not a lot of chest stuff. They mentioned, going into something dynamic like a push-up to knee tuck, or you could do like a side-to-side push-up to get some oblique engagement and get some extra core. You could be super evil and have them do full burpees with a controlled push-up. A lot of different ways to mix it up. You could do push-ups on the straps if you really wanted to be evil, with the feet in the straps, So it is coach's choice. So know your member base, challenge them, but also set them up for success. All right, the final block is power. This is going to be done over at the rowers. They have a 100-meter all-out row, and then a power bodyweight movement, then they recover. So they'll have a reverse lunge to single leg hop, 4 on each leg, and they rinse and repeat. For the finisher, it is a coach's choice 2 movement agility blast, 30 seconds per movement. Keep in mind the members are going to be over at the rowers, so think about the space you will have. They recommend some lateral stuff, but my studio, there's not really a lot of space for lateral movements there. So keeping it simple, like doing foot exchanges, or fast feet, high knees, butt kicks, things like that. 1, 2, 3 knee drive combos, Heismans usually aren't the best idea because people will run into each other. So just be aware of that. And I really hope you can't hear my little guy on the mic right now because he is screaming like a crackhead, but a lovable crackhead. All right, let's talk about the 3G. So 3G, treads, 3 blocks, strength, endurance, power, same thing, but now everything's kind of cut down in the duration. 75-second tread at an incline, 1 minute incline surge for 2 rounds, 1 minute walk recovery for the next block. For the endurance block, same timestamps, flat road, 75 tread, 1 minute speed surge for 2 rounds, 1 minute walk recovery, and then the final block, it is the exact same thing as the 2G, but the walk recoveries are substantially shorter. So 30 all out, 30 walk, 45 all out, 45 walk, and then a 1 minute all out. Because the walks are very short and minimal recovery, they might do a less aggressive all out compared to what they see in a 2G class. For the rowers, 2 blocks here. Block 1 is at their own pace for 10 minutes. They're going to do a 150-meter row, followed by a 50-meter row surge, 2 rounds. So total distance is 400 meters, okay? Once they complete their 400 meters, they catch their breath, then they come up, squat for 8 reps, squat jump for 6 reps, squat jumps for 6 reps, 2 rounds, then rest. And then they'll do that again, okay? So essentially they're doing a 400-meter row, recover, and then they have 24 squats, recover, rinse and repeat. All right, and then their second block is timed up with the treads. So they have those all out and recovery rows, but it is rack and rest. So they can use stored programs, 30 seconds, 45, and a minute. And of course, we want to see an increase in distance, but what we want to focus on is the average watts stay the same, because that will be an maintain or an increase of the intensity. Okay. If they are also well in tune with their split time, can they keep their split time about the same? Now, for the weight floor, it's one long block here. It's essentially the 2G just without, all the other stuff all combined. So they have the strength superset of the hammer curl to stand front squat, coach's choice core movement for 12 reps, and then upright row, lateral lunge to upright row, lateral lunge, coach's choice core again instead of a push-up, and then they will then go into the finisher eventually, which will be the same thing as a 2G with the agility blast choice for 30 seconds each. Okay. They are removing the push-up from this one simply because you have so many movements to acknowledge and demonstrate. So that's why you don't see that in the 3G. Okay. Other than that, happy National Coaches Day. Hope you guys have a great one on this one. Have fun with it. Of course, challenge the members, but at the same time, set them up for success and encourage them. That way they could celebrate you as well and all the things you do for them to have them have more life. On that, coach it down.